Okay, so let's see what about essential. No, we didn't start it. I'm training
Just a
myself.
second.
Yeah. Salutare, iubitori de arome! Eu sunt Tina și vă urez bun venit la podcastul Aroma Land, unde explorăm împreună cum să aducem esența naturii în casele voastre prin parfumerie. Motoul brandului nostru este Touch of Nature, iar astăzi vom discuta cum produsele noastre, betișoare parfumate, uleiuri esențiale, uleiuri parfumate, redifuzere sau purpuriuri, pot transforma rutina zilnică în momente de relaxare și de revigorare. O avem alături de noi și pe Nidhi, specialistă în parfumerie din India și o colaboratoare importantă a brandului Aroma Land. Ea ne va explica cum sunt create aceste arome unice și cum pot aduce efectiv o schimbare pozitivă în viața de zi cu zi. Hello Nidhi, welcome.
Thank you for having me here.
So let's start with something most people have probably smelled at least once, incense sticks.
Mm-hmm.
Well, all know them as those aromatic smoky sticks that seem to transform any space into a peaceful sanctuary. But there's a lot more of them than just setting the mood. So what's the real story behind incense sticks, especially when it comes how they are made in India?
Incense sticks have a long tradition in India. You know, it is used in spiritual rituals, in daily lives for thousands of years. The earliest reference to incense in the Indian texts has been mentioned in the Vedas, which is dated almost like 1500 BCE. So the process of making the traditional incense is truly an art. The process of incense sticks in India begins with like a careful selection of different raw materials, and that raw materials include things like sandalwood powder, there are resins, camphor, essential oils. You also have different herbs that are used, and the most important part of an incense sticks is a bamboo. So these materials are binded together with some binding material, and it forms like a dough. And this dough later on is stuck either by hand roll or by machine to the bamboo stick. And once the bamboo stick is ready with the incense, you dip it inside the fragrance, and then you let it to sun dry or air dry. And once that is done, you're ready, and it's good for packaging. So, yeah.
Wow, very interesting. So it's not just about the fragrance. There is a whole tradition and craftsmanship behind it.
Yes, true. So exactly, like in India, making incense is oftenly a family trade, a family business. You know, it is passed down through generations. And some of the techniques that are used in incense sticks during the hand rolling process is, hundreds of years old. And talking about the ingredients, the incense ingredients that are there, it is not just for the smell. It brings the spiritual and the emotional effects. It is very good for those. And say example, sandalwood, it is said to bring calm in your in your mind and your body. So that is why most of the times you will see in India, sandalwood is often offered in temples.
Mm-hmm.
There's a quick fact over here that during the olden times and even now, incense sticks are used to ward off the evil spirits, Mm-hmm. So they still strongly believe that incense can help in, doing that, the magic.
Yeah, it's very interesting, and I think it's the same in our religion by
Mm-hmm.
using frankincense, or how we call them in Romanian tămâie, for warding of bad spirits and evil.
Okay. So basically, incense is like our go-to air freshener, But there are more ways to use the incense sticks. So apart from the spiritual aspect, we also have the well-being aspect, where incense is used for meditation, for yoga, for chakra healing and balancing of your body. So there is one more thing, in the ancient in our ancient beliefs, as per our ancient beliefs, it is said that incense not just purifies the air, it purifies the mind. The sweet smell of the smoke helps you to focus, during the prayers and the meditations, and it makes it much easier for yourself to connect with inner self and also with the divine power that you believe in.
Wow, very, very interesting, and also incredible. But I also seen incense cones and even those backflow cones. How they come into picture? After all, are they made in the same way, like sticks?
Yeah. So incense sticks, incense cones, and backflows fall under the same family or the category. Of course, there is a difference in the sizes, of the forms, the shape and the size of the incense cone and the backflow. But the principle remains the same. The raw materials and the ingredients remain the same. Here, when we are talking about the way they are burnt, for incense cones, they tend to be more intense. And the fragrance is much more louder. And it burns very fast. Like incense sticks might last for around 45 to 60 minutes, whereas a cone can last you for 25 to 30 minutes.
Interesting. But what about those backflow cones? They seem so magical with all those smoke flowing downwards like water.
Yeah. So backflow cones are a newer twist, in the traditions of what we have in India. So they're made in the same way as the regular cone is. It's just that the backflow cone the smoke doesn't come from the top. It comes from the below, because there's a hole inside the backflow cone. And it's basically... it is more used for the aesthetic appeal, and the nice the smoke that comes out of the backflow cone has that mesmerizing waterfall and a cascade effect. So that's what is making the backflow cone very special.
Oh, so if I understand correctly, even if it's about sticks or cones or backflow cones, there is the essence is the same. It's about centuries old ingredients and techniques. And for the backflow cones, it comes also with a visual
appeal. Yes.
Appeal. Yes.
Yes, that's exactly. Each type has its own experience, but they all share the same traditions, the same craftsmanship.
Yes, and I can say that Aroma Land has tried to make an effort in bringing this tradition of India into Romania by offering more than 30 fragrances like lavender, sandalwood, musk, myrrh, tămâie, and many of these.
Definitely.
Thank you, Nidhi, for sharing deep insights about incense sticks in the last podcast.
You're welcome.
All right, let's shift our focus on essential oils. They've become incredibly popular in recent years, with so many people incorporating them in their daily routine. What makes essential oils so special, and how can they truly enhance our well-being?
So, essential oils are those powerful plant extracts that offer a lot of benefits. Now, what are these plant extracts? These are the leaves, the twigs, the stems, the roots, the flower sometimes. So, all of this, every plant has different parts of it which are extracted. That produces oils. So basically they are just not fragrances, they support the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual well-being of a person, these essential oils. Whether you're using lavender, safe to just calm your anxiety, or you're using eucalyptus to clear your passage. They can enhance your daily routines. And essential oils are like nature in the bottle. Like they have been used in Ayurveda since the longest time that we can remember, as a part of our medicines. And so essential oils are complex, but they're a gift by God to us.
Yeah. We hear a lot about the benefits of essential oils, but how do they actually work? What's the science behind how they affect our bodies and our minds?
So, essential oils primarily work on two methods. One is inhalation and another is topical application. So, when inhaled, the aromatic molecules which are there, they travel inside your brain through the limbic system. That is where we store our memories, the emotions and the moods. And why certain so that are the reasons why there are certain oils that can calm you or they can energize you. Example, when you just smell lavender, you feel so good about it, it calms you instantly. Whereas when you smell orange or when you smell eucalyptus, you have a very different mood altogether. So that is a way of inhalation. Now, when it comes to application on the skin or the topical application, we must remember that you have to use it with carrier oil, which means a base oil, like coconut oil or jojoba oil. So if you take like 10 parts of coconut or jojoba oil, you're just supposed to use like 1 or 2 drops of essential oil with it. And when you use these essential oils with the base oils, you can apply it on your skin. Now, there are many benefits of essential oil depending on the kind of relief or treatment that you're looking for. For example, when you use tea tree oil, along with some carrier oil, it can help to remove or prevent blemishes on your skin. So when they get absorbed, this happens when they get absorbed in the bloodstream, and that delivers the therapeutic benefits. It can be either skin treatment or even pain relief in for some essential oils.
A lot of interesting things. One thing that I'm curious about is how essential oil are actually made. How are they extracted from plants?
So, great question, by the way. Essential oils are extracted through a few different methods, but the most common one is steam distillation. So what happens here is that the steam is passed through the plant material. It can be twigs, leaves, flowers, any part of the plant that is supposed to be extracted. And so the steam and the oil are then condensed into the liquid. And since oil and water cannot mix together, the essential oil is then separated. So you get the pure oil out of it. So that is one way. Another way of extraction is the cold press extraction. So this is generally done for citrus items like orange oil, lemon oil, where you just cold press it and remove the oil and the other parts separately. And there's a new technique, rather it's not new now, but the latest technology that has come is for the delicate florals like jasmine, tuberose. So they need to go through a very delicate process, and for that there is a technique known as the solvent extraction technique, where with the help of solvents they extract the essential oils out of the buds or the plants.
A lot of interesting things that we never know. Thank you, Nidhi, for sharing with us so many new things. In Romania, there seems to be some confusions about differences between natural and perfumed oils. Can you help us to clarify these distinctions for us?
So this problem is there worldwide. So natural essential oils are derived from the plants, like I said, and these oils contain like a full spectrum of aroma molecules, and they are very complex. But what is different is the therapeutic properties that is delivered by the essential oils. For example, when we try to produce rose essential oil, we require more than somewhere between 10,000 to 20,000 flowers or buds to extract just 30 ml of an essential oil. So it is very labor intensive. But also there's one more thing to be understood for essential oils is that they're expensive because they are so labor intensive. Whereas when you compare it with a perfumed oil, they are made in the lab. So they are made by perfumers and they are made in a way that different aroma molecules are blended together for a very nice aroma. So they try to replicate the essential oil, but it is at a lower cost, it is at an affordable cost. So while selecting whether you want to choose perfumed oil or you want to choose essential oil, the major thing that you need to consider is the therapeutic properties. Are you looking for just fragrancing the room, or you are trying to get some benefits out of the essential oil?
So you require a large quantity of plant material to extract just a few ml of oil. That's why it makes them so special and expensive.
That's correct.
Obviously. So
let's
talk about the origin of essential oils. We understood now how they work, how they are extracted. Where do these oils actually come from?
So essential oils come from all over the world. They come from the best places possible where the essential oil gets a suitable soil, the suitable temperature, suitable climate is needed for the best oil and the best therapeutic properties that an essential oil can deliver. So for example, Bulgaria, it's famous for the damask rose, right? So that's why, it thrives in that environment. Whereas in India, essential oils like sandalwood, lemongrass, vetiver, turmeric, so all these oils work very well in they have very good they are extracted very well from India because of the tropical climate that India has. Similarly, Australia is famous for its tea tree oil, now also famous for the sandalwood, Australian sandalwood, And France, how can we forget France? From the Provence, lavender is the best available from France. So essential oils is not like picked up from a particular place. You can source them from different places all over the world. Spain and Italy are also known for its citrus oils, like orange and lemon are the famous essential oils that are exported worldwide from there. So
we have to source our oil from all over the world for the best quality. Very interesting. So essential oils have gained popularity for their versatility. Can you share some different ways to use them effectively?
Sure. So there are several popular methods. I'm sure most of them are aware of the major methods. But just to let you know that, aromatic vaporizer is one way of doing. So when you can either do it through a ceramic diffuser or an electric diffuser where you put some water on top of it and a couple of drops of essential oil. So that helps in, overall calming the environment and fragrancing your space. Another way is the topical application, like I had mentioned earlier, that you can apply it on the skin along with some carrier oil or a base oil like coconut or jojoba. Apart from that, you can also use it in bathing, like, when you're taking bath, you want to relax and, have a relaxed bath. You can just put couple of drops of essential oil, maybe lavender, or if you're looking for a more cleaner bath, then you can also use eucalyptus oil. Sometimes you can also do a blend of essential oils together to have that nice aromatherapy vibe, And you have inhalation. Eucalyptus is used for inhalation whenever we have problems with our blocked nose or sinuses. We use eucalyptus oil. I think during COVID, the most sold essential oil was eucalyptus, because everybody had a blocked nose and everybody wanted to
resolve the
problem in the most natural way possible. And people also do a lot of DIY, do it yourself. So they make their own candles, they make their own soaps, so bath salts. So essential oils are also used in DIY applications or home products. Even people use it for the kitchens. They can make an all-purpose cleaner with lemon and orange and tea tree essential oil with some water or some alcohol. And the most important way how an essential oil can be used is by massage. The best way to absorb the essential oil and its therapeutic qualities is through massaging.
Thank you. Very interesting. And I will try it. So can essential oils be a daily part of life, or should they only used sparingly?
No, definitely. You can make use of them in day-to-day routine. If you're tired from work, you just want to come home, just put some essential oil and just relax, but the main thing over here, the key point is moderation. Essential oils are potent, I told you, just like thousands of kilos of the flower gives you an extract of only 30 ml. So it is quite potent, which means that a little can go a long way. It's about finding the balance between enhancing your day and also overdoing it.
So it's like a genius in a bottle. Well, this has been eye-opening. It's clear that while essential oils offer incredible benefits, they also come with some important precautions. It's fascinating how something so natural can be so powerful.
Yeah, exactly. So I call it the nature's concentrated goodness, but it's also a powerful tool, and they should be handled with a lot of care.
So it has been eye-opening for our audience. It's clear that while essential oils offer incredible benefits, they come with some precautions. And it's fascinating how something so natural can be so powerful.
Yes, definitely. I say that it's the nature's concentrated goodness.
So Nidhi, moving to rediffusers now. I'll admit I used to think that these were just for making our home fancy.
Yeah, so reed diffusers do look fancy, but they're very practical too, they work on absorbing this fragrance oil through the reeds or the fiber sticks that are there, and they work through the capillary action. So there are pores inside the reed sticks. So what happens is the fragrance oil is absorbed in the stick, and due to air ventilation, the fragrance oozes out in the entire atmosphere or the living space that you are in. Now, what I like about them is that they need no electricity, no heat, so you don't have to worry about the fire, there is no wax that is, falling down here and there. And so yeah, it's like a perfect solution. And yes, they are very aesthetically appealing because it has a nice cute bottle to it, and a few sticks on top of it. You can even decorate it with like some flowers or some dried items. So it is it provides like a subtle but a very long lasting solution.
Also, I think our audience wants to know where are the best placements for rediffusers to maximize their effectiveness?
Yeah, so this question I get a lot, even when people meet me in person. They're like, I have a reed diffuser, but I don't know how to use them, or where do I use them, where do I keep them. So the optimal place to keep a reed diffuser is in a well ventilated place, but you don't keep it near the windows, for example, because that's where highest ventilation is, but you keep in a place where there is a medium ventilation. And of course you need to avoid it from placing it somewhere near the heat, like a heater or any source of radiator or direct sunlight, because more the ventilation, more the diffuser is getting over soon, so, or it evaporates quite quickly basically. So yeah, that is something that we have to keep in mind.
And how can you refresh the scent from the rediffusers?
So the ideal way of doing it is, say, when the fragrance is not oozing out or you think it is not performing well, all you need to do is probably take a tissue in your hand and flip the sticks. So when you do that, again, an entire burst of aroma comes into your room, and it helps to release more scent in the room. There is also one more thing that, the smaller the space, I would recommend for people to use less number of sticks. Because otherwise, it can be too powerful and strong for a smaller space. Bigger spaces, you can increase the number of sticks. And there is one more factor to be considered, that is, if you're using 2 sticks, it will last you much longer than the 6 sticks altogether. So there are a lot of factors to be considered here, but I think only once a person tries it, a person understands that what is their kind of utility for the reed diffuser.
And also big issue for our audiences is how long can we expect a reed diffuser to last?
Yeah, so it actually depends on the size of the bottle, and also the ventilation, the humidity of the area, the number of sticks that you're using, and the number of times you're flipping the sticks. It all depends on that, but generally it can last from a few several weeks to even months, and if you think that the oil is fading or something is, your sticks are clogged basically. Most of the time there is a lot of dust that comes and sticks onto your sticks. So maybe you can think of an option of even replacing the sticks if you think it is not having that burst of aroma.
Can we assume that all this knowledge applied to Aroma Land reed diffusers?
Yes, of course. Like I have tried Aroma Land reed diffusers, and they're one of the best reed diffusers in the market in Romania, and they have a very good fragrance. So they last somewhere around 4 weeks to 6 weeks. Again, if I'm using just 2 sticks, it does last me for like 2 months. They're pretty popular over here, and they're doing very well, right?
Yeah, thank you for your appreciation. Where can we use reed diffuser?
So, of course, you can use it in any living space, probably, wherever you want to. But the ideal place would actually depend on the fragrance that you are, looking for, and what kind of an ambience that you're trying to create. So, you can use it in your living rooms. Fragrances like orange or passion fruit or any fruity fragrance, where you're looking for a lot of energy for, say, suppose the guests are coming in, or something that is a very luxurious vibe to you, that kind of fragrances work in living room. In bathrooms, soft, subtle fragrances work very well. People like the fragrance of ocean. People like the fragrance of vanilla in the bathrooms. Offices is also a place where you can use similar kind of fragrances. Apart from that, you can use it in your kitchens, in your offices, in your hallways. People also use reed diffusers for spa and relaxation. So if you're a person who's looking for spa and relaxation at home, you can probably, keep a reed diffuser.
Yeah, thank you. So, if I understand, actually, a reed diffuser really fancy our house, but also they need a little bit of attention, because if the reeds are stocked, you have to turn them down or to replace them time to time.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, thank you.
So, there is, when it comes to choosing the scent, it all comes down to like a very personal preference, I feel, and the kind of atmosphere that you're trying to create. Like, I'm a person, for my bedroom, I want a smell like lavender, where I'm super calm. It helps me to relax and at least have a deep sleep so that I can start a new day fresh and energetic. And when it comes to workplaces or social places, you might want fragrances that can either... So for workplaces, you can use fragrances that help you to focus. And for social spaces, you can use fragrances that are very warm, welcoming. That is I think that would be very appropriate.
For me, usually the blends works very good. And actually, I like very much spicy blends, which are especially exotic, and you think of India when you smell them.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Are there any spaces where you shouldn't use reed diffusers?
I would suggest to not use reed diffusers where there is dampness, where there is a lot of humidity, or where there is places where there is direct sunlight. Somewhere near the sink is somewhere I wouldn't recommend anybody to keep, or do not keep it near the windows, for example, or near your cooking stove. And lastly, you should avoid places where people are just walking and they might just kick the bottle and, it might spill over. So that is something that needs to be taken care of as well.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing insights on reed diffusers. They are quite wonderful way to enhance any space with fragrance. Choose the right scents, maintain them well, and enjoy the ambience they create. Happy diffusing. We've covered a lot of ground with incense, essential oils, and reed diffusers. Let's shift our gear and talk about potpourri. It's one of those items that people often see in decorative bowls at homes. But what exactly are they?
So, potpourri is a fragrant mixture of dry flowers, herbs, spices, essential oils. Traditionally, it was used as a scent that can be used indoor. And, it's basically a preserved element, basically. And the word, interesting fact is, potpourri has come from a French word, which means rotten pot. It refers to the way where ingredients are preserved and mixed.
And where do you source dry flowers?
So India is one of the major hubs where we find these dried flowers, and we source them from the forest. And a lot of these products are also byproducts of a lot of items. So we have ingredients such as cotton petals, casurina, pine cones, coconut shells, mahogany, dried roses, even dried lavender, loofahs, lotus pods. So primarily they are all found in forests and farms. So many of these items, like I said, they are the byproducts or they're the waste materials of some of these agricultural practices. Example, when we extract cotton for clothing or textile industry, the shells or the cotton in which the buds are, it's a waste item for them. So what we do basically is gather this waste material, and then there is a process by which we dry these items, and then preserve, and there are many techniques to it in which they are manufactured, and then we present it. One very good thing here about potpourri that it is very sustainable. You are literally taking all the waste items and making the best out of it.
But some of them have very different colors. They can be colored.
Yes.
After you preserve them.
Yes.
Okay, Nidhi. And actually, how potpourri are made? Or to be precise, what is its manufacturing process?
Okay, so it's very simple as such. So like I said, we take it from the farms or the forests from India, and the first thing that we do is drying them. We dry them thoroughly, so either with a dehydrator or we air dry them, so that there is no part that can rot basically. And then we combine them in a bowl, like different items. Like we can pick up cotton petals, we can pick up casurina, we can pick up some lavenders, some rose petals. We mix them together, and once they are mixed together, we spray them, or we dip them or process them with colors if they are needed. They're also available in natural colors. And once that is done, we scent them. So we also put fragrances on top of these. Again, we let it to cure, like we again let it to dry for some time. And once that is done, we seal it and then dispatch it.
So, and everything, it's applied also to Aroma Land potpourri, I suppose.
Yes.
The same process.
Yes.
Okay. Where can we use potpourri?
So, potpourris can be used in various spaces, but we have to remember one thing, that it's not something that has a wide diffusion. So it must be used in smaller spaces, like I would suggest to use them in bathrooms or in bedrooms or in closets, basically, where we are looking for that nice burst of aroma. So one of the types of potpourris are also our Aroma Land fragrance, the wardrobe sachets that we have. They're also a form of potpourris where we are using dried lavenders. Also, there are other fragrances like Summer Fresh Ocean, where we are using wood chips, where they are fragrance. So that is also a format of potpourri that can be used in your wardrobes. In some people even hang it in the car, for example. And yes, that's the ideal way of using a potpourri.
Our audience, I'm sure that also have a question. Since the potpourri is opened and the perfume is getting evaporated, what is the solution to reperfume it?
I think the best solution is to buy Aroma Land spray. It is very versatile. So that spray can be used for perfuming your potpourris, your sachets, your wardrobes, your linens, your pillow covers, if you want to spray that fragrance. So yeah, you can reperfume your potpourris by using this Aroma Land spray.
Thank you for all this information. I'm sure that our audience might have found this very useful.
Yeah, I'm so glad to answer all their questions.
So Nidhi, let's dive a bit deeper into the process of creating fragrances for Aroma Land. When you develop a new fragrance, like for one of our rediffuser, what's your approach? How do you bring that perfect scent to life?
So it all starts by understanding the brief. I need to understand and need to get the feeling that we are trying to invoke. So for example, if the goal is to create something that is tropical, I instantly think about a fragrance like mango or coconut or pineapple that comes in my mind altogether. And I imagine the mood that is need to be set. It can be a relaxed beach vibe or something that can be more energizing. So once I understand the brief, I then try to blend different complex, in perfumery we call them accords. So I try to try different bases, some different accords, and we check what fragrance note is there that captures that feeling. And it's I feel it's something that is just a balance of creativity and the technique that I use during creating a fragrance.
So, if I understand correct, it's really about more than mixing scents. It's about creating an experience, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's about how the fragrance interacts, with the space and how it makes you feel. For example, if you want something very calming, I might probably blend lavender, chamomile, sandalwood, something that is naturally has a very relaxing effect altogether. And it's not just about how it smells, it's also about the mood that you're trying to create in the room, the memories that you're not trying to evoke, and also sometimes there are emotions attached to it. Like there are certain fragrances that makes us remember our childhood, for example. Like I don't know whether you have such chocolates, but in India we have one particular chocolate or a toffee named as mango bite. And whenever I'm making when I was trying to create blends of mango, I was trying to create that exact note, so that it can instantly hit up my my memory, my emotions that are attached with that particular fragrance.
Yeah. And what about the balance of top, middle, and base notes? How do you work with those when crafting a fragrance?
So it's that is the key structure for any perfumer. The top notes are basically what you smell right in the beginning. It is it's generally light, mostly citrusy, sometimes floral also. And then comes the middle note, where it that is the actual character of the fragrance, what we are trying to create. Generally they are floral notes, we can add spices to it. And finally we have the base note. So base notes are generally notes that stay for the longest time, but they also bring that complex structure and the actual base to the entire fragrance. So notes like musk, amber, tonka, in this case even sandalwood works as a good base ingredient for us, to give that nice complexness to the fragrance. And when I'm creating these fragrances, I'm trying to layer all these elements, to ensure that they evolve over the time. And this, of course, there's one more thing, that is they need to stay true to the mood that we are trying to create during that we're trying to create for that particular fragrance.
So it sounds like each fragrance tell its own story. So you are creating, you are crafting actually not just a scent, but an entire sensory experience.
That's exactly it. When it's something tropical, calming, or energizing, each fragrance is designed to transport you to that place, that moment, and to enhance the atmosphere, that's there around you.
Thank you, Nidhi, for creating such mesmerizing fragrances. Our customers really appreciate the complexity and the subtleness of your fragrance that you create.
Okay. Thank you so much for asking me these questions. It was quite an interesting talk.
So, Nidhi, do you have some funny instance with your customers?
So, I had randomly received an email by a customer as a feedback saying that your reed diffuser sticks when burning are not working well. And I was like, oh my God, I hope he's safe. He's not supposed to burn the sticks. They are meant for diffusing, And then I had to write a proper email with some explanations, some images that you are
how
not
to
supposed
use.
you're not supposed to burn the sticks. They are not incense sticks, they are they are ratan sticks. And so yeah, that was pretty funny but also scary at the same time, like there are questions that come up certain days to us as such. So since it's a family business, we have been into this since 20 years now. And me being the new generation, I am trying to focus a lot on new product developments, bringing in the new fragrances, trying to solve the problems, or you can say just trying to solve the home fragrance problems that are there. And trying to make this brand stand out in the market where it has everything that a customer needs for its home improvement or home fragrancing. My association with Aroma Land, or my family's association with Aroma Land has been for over 20 years. And since I am the second generation, I look forward to develop a lot of more home fragrance solutions for Aroma Land. We are here not just talking about increasing the vertical, but we are also thinking about bringing in more fragrances, more applications to the entire portfolio.
Thank you.
Aroma Land, the touch of nature.